comments in everybody's channels. Like I was watching Junkyard News.
I'm so sorry. I might, if I get disconnected from you, I apologize. My connection is an issue right now, so I apologize for that.
No worries.
Go ahead.
I was watching Junkyard News, and he's not the meanest guy in the world, and he in his comments, I don't normally watch live streams, but he was auditing a DUI checkpoint, and it was just oink oink piggy oink oink. I broke up. Uh-oh.
Hello? No, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, Lady Zaga said I broke. So what about, like, I don't know. I guess I keep beating up the same point. And my point is that we are, as a community, alienating everybody who we need to make the changes that we want to see happen. So that's my point. But, you know, obviously your mileage may vary. Did you have any other questions that you wanted to ask?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, what do you see happening with, like, this, if you want to call it a movement? I mean, what are some things that you would like to see happen with us? And I mean, what are you hoping will happen? Do you think that what we're doing is going to make have any type of effect on anything? Like, what do you see?
What I see is a lot of squandered opportunities and wasted efforts. The reason why I'm involved in this is to hopefully give people the understanding of what is and isn't illegal so that they can make better choices. And then what's really sad to me is, like, Freeman doesn't understand that he is literally in a position right now, the very best position he could be in, where he has an opportunity to change a law that is specifically on filming. And I don't think he even comprehends that. So that's where I'm at. I would love to see more civility. I would love to see more Men in Black, more Nasty Nathaniels, more Desert Sentinels who go out there and just interact politely and pleasantly with the public, who don't cause any problems, who don't give anybody any reason to hate us. And if there is nobody causing a problem by filming, then there will be no need to create legislation against filming. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. All right. Well, Merb, it was. I'm glad we had a chance to have this talk, this chat, this Q&A.
Very happy to have had you on here. Would you be willing to stick around and ask questions from your adoring fans?
Yeah, let me try. Tell me what they are, because I'm still trying to figure out this program here. I don't know if they're going to pop up or if you can just read them.
I can read them. And then some of them, if they want to, then they can unmute themselves or what have you. But NJ Diver says, how do you feel, or do you feel there will be legislation promulgated?
I don't even know what promulgated means. Sorry.
Put out, like, do you think there will be legislation made and put into effect?
For what?
That's a good question, NJ Diver. For what? He's typing.
Oh.
Against videography.
I don't know, but I do think that if there's photographers creating problems, that might prompt people to. So
I think there definitely is, because that's the whole reason why you could film in the Leon Valley Police Department, and now you can't.
Yeah.
City ordinances are legislation of a kind, anyway.
Yeah.
Mr. Taking a Stand. Anybody else? did they pass anything? I don't know what you're talking about, NJ Diver. If you could tighten up your questions. I don't know. I do know. So they're asking about, did they pass anything in Leon Valley? That might have been, I think they went with a judge's order on that, but there might be a ordinance as well. If anyone needs help unmuting, just ask Dennis Sayer. We're going to try to get some questions in here for our lovely and talented pink camera magic.
The actually with Leon Valley, it was the order for photography and for having cameras in the courthouse. And in fact, they actually did it like the day before, because Philip Turner did a open records request for that actual order, and then they drafted one up and signed it like the day after he made that request.
Does that make it? Oh, sorry. Does that make it not legal?
No. I guess it makes it legal because they signed it. But it's interesting. I mean, it wasn't effective the day that he put in that open records request. It became effective the next day.
I'm very leery of that whole thing. I haven't gone back in to look to see if there has been an ordinance or something that has been enabled. So I don't know entirely what they're going on. But just remember that anybody who has authority in the building can trespass you for whatever reason. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I think that it was his open records request, the actual judicial, the legal order that they kept on referring to when telling people that they can't record. It's just interested that was drafted and signed the day after that request was made.
One of those guys would like to know what sect of anarchist you are. Are you an ANCOM, ANCAP, or minarchist?
No, I don't. No, just more disassociating myself with a lot of the government things that I don't agree with.
Ed wants to know, does Leon Valley need a regulation given the holding of the Texas Court of Appeals that there doesn't even need to be a written policy to trespass?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Taking a stand says the Georgia Supreme Court approved the use of cameras in courtrooms in certain situations under Rule 22. That applies to the Georgia Supreme Court and state courts. How do you feel about that?
God, I don't know. I can go to Georgia.
Savuka has a question. Pinky, did you know you were breaking the bond when you left and went to Leon Valley? That was already asked and answered. But if you
breaking
want to
what
again.
Bond?
The bond for.
Oh, my bond. Yeah. Oh, oh my God. Yeah. No, at the time I didn't know actually, but I was.
And Desert Sentinel would like to ask you a question.
Yes.
Hi, Amanda. This is Brian.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, pretty good. I know I've left comments on your videos before I even picked up a camera, but however, I wanted to ask you, have you seen any of my post office videos?
I've seen a lot of your videos. I don't remember specifically but I do see that you post pretty consistently.
I have a playlist on the post office.
Okay.
And I point out my understanding of the rules of the post office. And I guess my question would be, do you have a greater understanding of how Poster 7 works and how the CFR works?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I didn't even know what the CFR was until after I caught my case and I decided and do my research on the USPS. I learned a lot, and yeah, it was very eye-opening for one.
Yeah, it was very eye-opening for me, especially after I was led by a couple auditors, and you can find that early in my videos, and taken to a post office and, in my opinion, taught all the wrong things.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why I stress so much, people are going to tell you everything and anything, and they take it as but you gotta just dig into your own research. And if you're not 100% sure, I mean, who's to say you can't just call a postal inspector or something and just ask these questions over the phone?
I'll let out a little secret. I have a postal inspector that I have talked to on several occasions for hours at a time.
Okay, so yeah, so you definitely, I certainly hope, know your stuff when it comes to that.
I hope so. But thank you very much, and I've always enjoyed your videos, and I have always put you up on the top of the list as one of those good guys.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Lady
All right, we'll
Zaga,
talk to you later.
All right. Take care.
Lady Zaga would like to know how the court found out you were at the Leon Valley event.
I have a lot of theory. I have a few theories. We'll go with what he said, which is he saw me in a live stream, and that I said I was going to move to San Antonio. That I was planning on, which I don't know where he came up with that, but yeah, I apparently saw me in a live stream.
Lady Zaga is saying you broke up. Can you repeat the story? Who saw you in a live stream?
The state's attorney. Okay. They saw me in a live stream.
Ed says it's not a question. He just wants to know that you've impressed him and he's subscribing to your channel.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And you should check out Ed's channel. He has some very dry, very pedantic videos.
All right.
I say that with love, by the way.
His name is Ed?
Ed, yeah.
Just Ed, how do I find his YouTube channel?
Ed2276.
All right.
And then
I will do that.
Lady Zaga would like you to put on your telepath hat and inform us as to what the state attorney was doing watching the live streams.
You know, he's all about the movement.
The bowel movement?
He wants to start auditing, I think.
Is he into the bowel movement?
That too.
What do you think about the bowel movement?
I think that the name is funny. I actually love. I really like him a lot. I think it's really messed up if everything is exactly what they said. That he showed up apparently 20 minutes late to court or something, and now they put him in jail for contempt for all this time. I think it's totally ridiculous.
Do you believe what their version is?
Any reason to not believe it? I don't know.
Do you think that normally people get 60 days in contempt and time in solitary for being 20 minutes late to their court date?
You know, nothing surprises me anymore just because I've seen this. So I really don't know.
Okay.
I don't know enough about it to really make an opinion.
Would it change your opinion if there was video of Bao talking to a court clerk prior where he confirmed the date and time and they hadn't changed it or anything like that?
No, it wouldn't change my mind because even if he was, or if he was late, big deal. Like, I mean, they put him in jail for contempt for 60 days for being late. That is just, to me, seems pretty ridiculous, especially if he's not been convicted of a crime.
What if he was put in jail for contempt for 60 days for filming in the court?
I don't know. I don't like the idea. I don't think that he deserves to be in jail for 60 days for filming. Even if it is in a courtroom where the rules say he's not supposed to.
Even if he had been expressly told by that judge that he could not film in court because there were previous videos that he put out of him filming in court.
No, I still don't think so. And that's my personal thing. I don't think you should cage. They're not victimizing people.
Okay. So let's see. Once you capture, there's no way. Okay, just looking for questions. arbitrary and capricious, but he was put in contempt prior to being searched and the recorder found. Do you have one of those guys? Do you have documentation of that? I know he was held for contempt because of recording. I was not aware of the contempt prior. Ed asks if Bao should have just been given a 20-minute timeout.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, he should have, obviously he broke the rules for recording, but I think putting him in a cage for 60 days and having him in solitary on top of that is completely ridiculous.
Out of curiosity, let's say that you want somebody to do something and you have the power to make them do it and they don't do it, but you need them to do it. How do you get them to do it without putting them in an uncomfortable way?
My mind went all over the place with that. Because I'm thinking of some other stuff. You're talking about and referring to like auditing, I take it, right?
No, I'm actually talking in general. Let's say that there's
I guess you'd want to schmooze them. I don't know. Try to convince them. I guess.
So I had this conversation, a very similar conversation with Mr. Freeman, where he thinks that putting people in a cage, and he used the same terminology you did, so I'm assuming it's roughly the same argument, and he thought it was excessive. But how do you get compliance if you ask and you ask and you ask and they say no, 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 and they will never say yes? How do you gain compliance?
I mean, then you gotta, before you decide on something like that, I would think that you want to find out why do you feel like you are entitled to having the person be compliant?
Because you're a judge in a court.
Okay, so we're being specific then.
Well, I'm throwing that out. You could be anything. You could be a police officer who is merely trying to get an ID from someone, and you're trying to be nice and not just instantly arrest them. And you ask for, and you have the right to the ID. You ask and you ask and you ask, and they don't do it. Then what do you do? How do you get that ID that you're entitled to?
If you're, and that's why I say you kind of go back to, why to someone else, something that belongs to someone else. I mean, I understand what you're saying and where you're going with this, but I don't know. I guess if something that belongs to you and you keep asking for it and they don't give it to you, and they keep saying no, then you're just gonna have to take it. But that's assuming that the item belongs to you and you're entitled to that item.
Well, the police officer may be entitled to your ID.
Right, but is he so giving your name and information, giving your ID would be voluntary, be on a voluntary basis, I would guess.
No, I'm saying if he's entitled to it and he can demand it, he has the right to it.
Okay, so him being entitled to it the only way he would be entitled to it, I guess, would be if it's against the law for him not to give the ID. I mean, is that?
Yeah, that's where we're at. He has the right to demand the ID.
Okay, then if he breaks the law, then he's going to have to, pay the consequence for it, I guess, because that's how our government works. So you're going to have to either, get charged with a crime and go to jail or whatever.
So if Bao isn't being compliant, if he is being in contempt of court, then the court needs to escalate things until they finally get him to comply with the court's demands. Is that where you're at?
I guess so.
Do you think courts normally jump to 60 days contempt?
No.
Well, okay. All right. Let's see if we have any questions out there. So not our other questions. Nope, they're all talking about the Bao video.
Okay.
When's your next court hearing?
It's jury trial, and it's going to be.
And you broke up.
Oh, jury trial, October 9th.
So have you already done the voir dire? that going to be upcoming?
The what? I'm sorry.
Have you already selected the jury members, or is that upcoming?
No, that's all upcoming.
Okay. Lawyer question mark. I think that question is, do you have a lawyer?
I have a public defender.
That's a lawyer.
Right. Yes.
You said that with a bit of contempt, so care to elaborate?
I don't have a lot of faith in her ability to take on, the state attorney and the judge and, and all that. I'm very skeptical because I know that at the end of the day, regardless of what happens, still has to work with these people.
So you think that because she has to face them in court from time to time, that she will give them some level of deference?
I believe so. I hope not, but I believe so. My dealings with her, I just don't have a whole lot of confidence. One thing, I don't talk about it a whole lot, but like before I went to Texas, she knew I was going to Texas because we tried to coordinate a date to meet around that. Like the first time I went to Texas, she knew. But she didn't say anything.
Did she have a copy of your bond?
I don't know.
If she didn't have a copy of your bond, then why would she suspect you couldn't leave?
She knew I was out on bond. I don't know if she had a copy of it.
You may have worked something out with the judge saying that, I have this job interview in Texas and I need to go to Texas. Is that fine? And the judge may have okayed it. Why would the public defender be aware of that?
I don't know. I would assume everything would have gone through her. Like if I wanted to request something, she'd be the first person I would have gone to. I don't know.
So she was there at your bond hearing?
No, she wasn't there at the bond hearing. I didn't have a bond hearing. But the thing is, this is why I don't have a lot of confidence. Okay. We were trying to coordinate. She knew I was out of town. She knew I went to Texas. We were trying to coordinate the time to meet. Well, then at this recent court date, first thing she did when we got together was she handed me a paper that she said, I think that, we have a great chance with this judge. And I think, she wanted me to sign a waiver to waive a jury trial and just do a bench trial at the time. But I didn't want to do that for a number of reasons. One of them being the fact that I'm currently involved in a lawsuit against Cook County for an incident that happened right there. And then also on top of that, I looked up some stats the day before, and last year, out of all the bench trials, there's only been one acquittal on a bench trial all year last year in Cook County. So the stats didn't look very good. So, and also after I decided that I didn't want to sign the waiver, we went up to see the judge and he knew that I was going to a jury trial. There kind of had a whole attitude. And then she looked at me, she came back to me and then she said, "Did you go out of town?" Or she said, "Did you go to Texas?" And at the time, it didn't really dawn on me. I'm like, yeah, but then that's when they decided to violate me. And after, I didn't really think the next day that she knew I went to Texas. But I just don't have a lot of faith in her. I don't think she really invests in. She even told me that she wasn't going to watch the whole 45 minutes of my video. And she just seems really not invested in what's going on.
Well, okay, so I'm going to agree with you that public defenders don't have a lot of time, but I do want to let you know a little lawyer secret. We know what we need to know, and it doesn't. I don't have to watch a 45-minute video to know whether or not committed X, Y, or Z offense. I can. Like if it's trespass, I could skip through it until you're on their property, skip through it until I hear him say you have to leave or till I see a sign, and then it's done. So there is some misunderstanding. Every client that I get thinks I need to know way more things than I actually need to know to do what I need to do legally. So be careful about that.
Okay.
As far as the bench trial is concerned, there are benefits to the bench and there are benefits to the jury. if you are going to be charismatic, likable, if you're going to try to be using a legal defense, something that's based wholly on the law, you want the judge, because the judge is going to understand the law. If you're trying to rely on people liking you to get you a better deal or a lighter sentence or to find you not guilty, then you, just as a rule of thumb, that's when you kind of want to go with the jury. So do you understand the particular approach that she thought she was going to be using?
No, I don't. The reality is we really haven't talked much about it. Like, we haven't had a chance to even get together to meet. I mean,
yeah,
we talked shortly during our court dates, but that's it.
It's a very upsetting fact of life that there are way more defendants than there are public defenders. So have you thought about trying to do a GoFundMe or something to get a non-public defender?
Yes, I have. However, I didn't want to do that because it's at a time that a lot of people were sort of pushing.
I can't remember a time within the last 6 months that a lot of people weren't pushing their GoFundMe.
Right. And, there's been a lot of backlash with that, and I don't want it to be about that. And also on top of that, like, shortly before that, I had to obtain another lawyer. So I actually have a lawyer right now. And
But the lawyer that you have right now is for a civil suit, if I'm understanding correctly?
Yes.
And the civil suit lawyer doesn't want the criminal case, or you can't afford to get the civil suit lawyer on the criminal case?
I can't afford it. I was hoping that beforehand they would just drop it.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it's come to the point now where it appears they want to take it to a jury. So I don't know. I've just been kind of
okay. So
undecided, I guess, about how I want to approach it.
That the civil attorney is going to be working on some sort of a contingency fee.
Yeah. We got our thing worked out. And
are you fronting the court costs, or is he fronting the court costs for you?
He is.
Okay, that's interesting. That's a very good sign for you. That means that he actually thinks that he can win and that there's going to be a payout at the end of it. So congratulations.
So yeah, I appreciate that. And also I was helping Sue do some fundraising too. And
okay.
I don't like asking for money.
Okay.
I have a decent amount of supporters who do it on their own without any kind of convincing, I guess, or asking. So, and I appreciate that.
That's always nice. Have you considered donating to my G-String account?
I need some dances first.
Those are expensive, and I don't think you could afford them.
You're probably right.
All right. Do we have anybody else who wants to get in some questions for the lovely and talented Pink Camera Magic? Ed is not a troll, but he did stay at a Holiday Inn last night, so congratulations, Ed. I see lots of people typing. Is it too late to get a different lawyer? Michelle asked.
No, it's not. Matter of fact, there's one I'm talking to, but he wants a retainer. I think it's like $400.
That's it?
Yeah.
He's only asking for a $400 retainer?
Mm-hmm.
That's like an hour. Like what does he want a $400 retainer for?
I don't know.
Are you sure it's not a $4,000 retainer?
Yeah, no, it's $400. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that it's, it would be defending, but then also part of like a civil suit as well. I'm not exactly sure. I talked to him, and then he just wanted $400. So I didn't go over any paperwork with him or anything like that.
So just generally speaking, in my kind of area, you're looking at 10 to 15,000 for a full trial.
Jeez.
So 400, I don't know what. That's literally like an hour and some change.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't looked into it very seriously, I guess. So, because I really can't afford one anyways. So, and if for thousands of dollars, I mean, I think I would take my chance on the public defender.
That's what most people do. People keep commenting. Lady Zaga said we need at least 5 Gs to start. One of those guys says in the Chicago metro area, that's enough to get him to park his car at the courthouse. I doubt it.
Yeah, pretty much. God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know if maybe there was some misunderstanding there, or like you said, if he was trying to pick up the civil case as well, maybe there's something there, thinking he's going to get contingency and you're just paying.
That's what I'm thinking too. And I think he also kind of factored in my income.
Yeah. Maybe like when in my office, when we factor in income, it's the retainer maybe smaller, but it doesn't change the cost you pay by hour. We still, I mean, you start seeing bills pretty darn quick if you have a tiny retainer.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, and like I said, it was just consultation.
Okay. Well, did you have anything you want to say closing? It doesn't look like we have any more questions coming in. So did you have kind of like a thought for the day or a wrap up kind of thing?
No, I'm just the time kind of went by fast. I'm like I said, I'm glad we had this conversation, and hopefully we can get more people to just listen with open. Hopefully we can learn some things and teach some things, and I just hope things get better with this whole movement, if that's what you want to call it.
Well, wouldn't that be what you call it?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Well, it's been lovely talking to you. If anybody has any questions, this would be about the time to get them in there, or else we're going to end it. Chat's open if you want to pop on the mic, anybody? And a lot of people are typing. And if she finds a job, can she go? Okay, that's a good question. If you find a job, will they let you go to it?
Yes. And here's the only problem with that is, though, but the only issue is that it's in order for me to leave to go on a job interview, it's a process. I have to actually get permission from the judge. I can't even just ask the home monitoring staff or anything. I have to actually talk to my public defender, and she has to mention it to the judge, and I have to get approval.
Lady Zaga wants to know how much for the ankle monitor. I'm assuming that's monthly payment.
$10 a day.
$10 a day. One of those guys said that I was not trolly enough. I have to belittle my dog when we get off here.
You got to let it out on some.
Oh, I guess. There wasn't really anything to troll you on. So,
sorry.
I did say that of all the people who I thought were going to show up today, you are the only one with balls big enough to come in and talk to me, apparently.
My balls hang low.
Oh, wow. That's what bras are for, dear.
I don't think I've wore a bra since I've been on house arrest.
Well, I guess if that makes you comfortable.
It's kind of nice.
Gravity still works in the home, though, so.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. There's no lack of that.
I'm trying to be a little more trolly, apparently, and now Lady Zaga is All right. Well, it was lovely talking to you. Good luck in your legal endeavors, and take care. Okay.
Thank you. And thank you guys so much. If you're not subscribed to me, go subscribe if you're interested in updates and things like that. I just put a video up that we talked about a friend of mine who the Minneapolis police shot her dogs, and I was talking to her daughter about it, and it's kind of a cool video. So hopefully check it out, and thank you. I appreciate you, Merb.
I'm not going to watch a video about dogs being shot, but you have a great day.
Well, don't then.
Yeah, I won't. Thanks. All right, bye.
Bye.